All right, fans, we are here on deck with head coach Chris Whatley. This segment sponsored by Roofmasters and your local Hallsville Sonic. Coach Whatley, how are you today, man?
Doing good.
Coming
a lot better.
Fresh off of a Tuesday night win against Pine
Stinking
Tree, and it was done in the manner that you want to see done. You reminded Pine Tree very early that you're still the Hallsville Bobcats. They actually came in 3-1, but coming off of a victory such as Tuesday night, I mean, is it just another game going into Friday? How do you control your kids' emotions?
It's just another game on Friday. All district games are big. Can't really look at records and think much about that. We just got to play every game. I mean, last night, that was the first time we scored 10 runs in a game. I mean, that's been my biggest challenge to them. Been trying to wait for something to break out, and last night was kind of the perfect storm on top of Landon just being Landon.
Right.
And then, I mean, we hit some balls hard last night. I mean, I think we ended up 9 or 10 hits, but there was 4 or 5 others that were hit on the barrel. And you know, that's what I'm trying to tell these kids. Go up there and swing the bat, you know, hit the ball hard and just be aggressive. Go up there hunting.
The ball Matt Houston hit last night, I've watched a lot of balls go out of ballpark, and I will tell you, that is one of the more sharply hit baseballs I've seen in quite a while.
He did not miss it.
He did not miss it. I don't know if it landed in White Oak or went to Big Sandy. Yes. Yeah. Now,
he got all his money's worth on that whole ball.
if you took the average, you might still get a home run, though. I mean, that's the thing. Now,
And that's Matt. Matt's been awesome, man. He's a mainstay up there in the lineup, and you know he's gonna be behind the plate, and he's a 4-year starter, and Matt Houston he's one of the best players that I've seen, not just in East Texas, but I mean when we travel, every coach talks about Matt. I mean he's a special player.
Well, I got a question. We're about halfway in the middle of the season. I asked the same thing of Kayla last week. Tell me how you feel about the team at halfway in the middle of the season right now. Are you where you thought you'd be, or are you behind where you thought you'd be, or right where you need to be at halfway in the middle?
I think we're where we need to be. We're putting ourselves in a really good spot. Friday's a big game for us. If we can find a way to win that game, if we can go 5-1 at the split, we're in a good spot to, I mean, not only try to lock up a playoff spot, but you know, obviously that's our first goal, lock up a spot, and then we can start pressing and trying to get, you know, our main goal, the district championship. But
well, as me and you have talked about many times, a playoff spot is, and I hate to say this is going to sound, it's almost it's a given. I'm not a given, but expected to make a playoff spot, if not win the district or 1 and 2 in the district right now. So, do you look past that sometimes, or do you tell the guys we still got to get in the playoffs?
you got to earn everything. You know, I mean, nothing's a given, especially in a crazy sport like baseball. You never know. I mean, you could go lay an egg like we did on Saturday. You just never know what group's going to show up. You know, more times than not, we're pretty locked in and pretty good. And when you get the pitching that we've had lately, I mean, we just, you know, if we can score a few runs, it just relaxes those guys on the mound, and they're pretty good. I mean, they're pretty good.
yeah,
That's a good thing.
It's fun to coach when you have a 1-2.
Now I'm still over there panicked every inning. I mean, I'll sit there and scream and yell, and we walk one guy in one game, and I'm panicked over there because I get so caught up in it. You know, it's easy to do, and luckily I got a couple guys to my left that'll calm me down and tell me to go sit down for a second.
Well, see, we was told just a while ago that you don't yell. It's such an easy, laid back.
Well, I don't really yell out loud to them, but I'm yelling at the person to my left most of the time. So
second round of district after Friday night's coming up. It seems like every team that comes in, no matter where we talk about locking playoff spots or not, is you still have the H on your chest. You still have a target on your back. Do you see anything different going on the second round of district? Or I guess what I'm asking you, Coach, is I foresee it being harder than the first round. How do you get your kids ready?
So we got Sulphur on Friday, and then we have our bye. We're playing a really good team out of Louisiana. We're playing Glenbrook, which they're pretty good. They were in a tournament. We're going there to play them, and then it starts off. I mean, that first little stretch between Longview, Texas High, and Mount Pleasant, our first 3, that's going to be a very important stretch right there for us to, you know, if we have ultimate goal of winning a district championship, those are some of the teams that we're going to have to take care of and just play really good baseball. You know, my wife and I, we talk when we go home and softball's the same thing. We do have bullseyes on us. We get everybody's best shot every Tuesday and Friday, and you can see it when teams beat us. They go
celebrate.
crazy, they celebrate, and
Well, it's like they won the World Series, and they actually beat you.
and that's fine. It doesn't bother me. If I would probably react the same way, but our kids just need to stay humble and just accept. When you get beat, you get beat, right? And when we win, take care of business and get on the next one.
Well, let's talk about, last Saturday was a I don't know, a dumpster fire, abomination, whatever you want to call it. How do you come, I mean, what's the talk after a game like the game just tied?
I got a lot of my talk out in the second inning. It got out. I got that over with pretty quick. After the game, we did have a long talk. We had to talk about, just where people need to be and people's roles and accepting your roles. And, we're a pretty good team, do I want – and I have a lot of kids on the varsity. I got 21 kids up right now. It's really hard to – it's like I tell the kids. They go home with me every night. I think about every one of those kids. It means the world to me, every one of them. And do I want all of them to play? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, at that varsity level, it's all about winning. And I got to do what's best for our team, and the decisions that me and the coaches make, those are what we roll with. And Saturday was just a game that we'll forget about. That film's already been burned. It's not getting put up. It's done. And we can't worry about that game. And we did a great job bouncing right back and getting a win.
Well, I hate to say
last
it,
night.
sometimes losing is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
You have to look inside yourself and say, what happened?
We don't really call it losing. We just call it learning. We learned something from those losses, and
Like that.
that's we don't. We lost and we got beat, but I promise you, we learned some stuff off that. Some kids learned some stuff, and it was a valuable lesson. So
Obviously, it worked pretty good because we come out and thumped Pine Tree last night.
that's right.
Okay, Coach, and real quick answer on this. 3/4 of the way through the season, first year as a head coach, self-evaluation, what's an area that you think you might can improve in? Putting you on the spot.
I'm not gonna lie. This is my 10th year here. I usually get my first 9 years. I'd probably get about 5 or 6 emails a day. Now I'm getting about 30 to 35, and just the time, keeping up with time and time management, I guess is the word I'm looking for. As far as the coaching, it helps when I have great coaches and great kids. That makes that part easy,
Right.
and that takes care of itself. But if you're talking about the stuff behind the scenes,
Everything.
behind the scenes stuff is the time management part. Is just the day goes so fast, and you run out of time, and before you know it, you got to figure something out. But
Speaking of time, we ran out here, Coach. Thank you for joining us. This has been On Deck with Head Coach Whatley. We'll see y'all next time, guys.